Man, he's got his own headline there. Dusty Baker is here with a deep dive into the return of Cal Raleigh at the plate. Dusty, another deep dive here. You looked at the Cal's advanced numbers, and seems like we're seeing the Cal of old out there.
First of all, Paul, we've had that open for like 3 weeks. How long have you been on the show?
He's busy, Dusty.
I tend to nod off during your segments, so I'm surprised I saw it today.
What does that say about these segments, man?
He's busy. He's got. I'm on his shoulder. He's carrying me through these segments. So.
I'm going to have to carry him through this one again. Cal Raleigh certainly has carried the offense this week. We're not going to really talk about what's happened today because nobody has carried the offense today against the Phillies. But when you look at what Cal Raleigh has done recently, it has been very impressive as a whole as far as his turnaround and what he's been able to do at the plate. I want you to take a look first at just where he has been at as far as 2025 to 2026. Most of his numbers dropping drastically. I'm looking at exit velocity, chase rate, sweet spot as well, the percentage at which he's hitting it on the sweet spot, and then his strikeout rate. All these numbers dropped off significantly for him this season, but he's improving, as I have started to notice, over the last 2 weeks in each of these categories. These numbers you're seeing right here, these are his season long, and his most recent numbers have contributed to that. Of course, going into today, here's what his numbers as a whole looked like. Okay, they were very ugly. You're talking a 169 average. That has jumped up, of course, and then you're looking at where his OPS is at now. That's jumped up as well, about 30 points since his hot stretch here. He's got 6 doubles, 18 home runs, but guys, at the end of the day, you look at his numbers over the last 9 games. What a turnaround he has had recently. These are eye-popping numbers. You're talking 348 average, a 531 on-base percentage, and a slugging percentage well over 1,000. That is unbelievable. His OPS, 1.662, one of the best in the league over that stretch, and that includes 6 home runs over the last 9 games. 9 RBIs, 6 runs. He has 9 walks and 5 strikeouts. That might be the takeaway, though, that I have the biggest one out of for Cal right now, is he was striking out at a significant rate, but all of a sudden his walks, maybe at least a little bit outweighing those strikeouts. That has been a key reason why he's able to see better pitches and ultimately drive them out of the ballpark as well.
Well, yeah, maybe you just answered it. I talked about it, the patience at the plate, but based on those stats that you're throwing out there, is there anything that is standing out to you about Cal's recent tear at the plate that you're seeing besides that patience?
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at the most recent games that he's had against the Phillies, and you look at his pitch selection in particular, that's one thing. But his hard hit rate is really what I want to emphasize right now, because the exit velocity numbers have shot up recently. You're talking about his season exit velocity average at 89.5 miles per hour, a career low. That's in the 55th percentile still in the MLB. But if you look to last season, that was so much higher, guys. You're talking about a guy, of course, that hit 60 home runs in the process, but that exit velocity was hovering much higher, around the 91, 92 mile per hour, and that ultimately put him in the 99th percentile. Tuesday's home run, he hit at 106.2 miles per hour. He had 3 other bombs that were in that same range as well. So he's hitting the ball at a much harder rate. And then I want you to look at Tuesday's home run. His pitch selection as a whole has been much more impressive recently. Notice that there were 2 pitches that were out of the zone. He was able to take both of those. There was a called strike. He was patient. It was on the inside corner borderline. And then he scoops a pitch down low to hit it out of the ballpark. And that was on a knuckle curve, a breaking pitch. Let's look at the next one as well. You're talking about back to Monday. He had 2 pitches thrown to him, a ball that was also out of the zone, nearby, but had a good enough eye to keep that away from hacking at it. And then he hits a home run off a fastball, which he has struggled against this season, at the top of the zone. So that means he's able to at least have his bat go multiple levels. You're talking about his launch angle at multiple levels. He's seeing it through the plane. And I want one last one. His home run number 2, multiple pitches, sees a lot more of those as well. You're talking 3 balls that were relatively near the zone, but at the end of the day, he hit a foul and then hit a bomb that was also, once again, down low, down the middle of the pipe. So his pitch selection is significantly different this time around. I've noticed that he's been more patient, and I just love the fact that he's able to get his bat through multiple planes, which is really what they're teaching nowadays with analytics, trying to make sure that you have the opportunity to hit pitches that are inside, outside, and at the launch angle that's necessary to get it out of the ballpark.
You see, Egan's in here like this. He's looking at all your graphics and he's studying it. He's taking notes on his clipboard.
Well,
now, I'm sure you found some crazy underlying stat about Cal. Is there anything in the data you might find particularly interesting to Mariners fans?
Yeah, I mean, I know Paul is going to really eat this one up, but I'm talking about what, and situation-wise, Cal has been set up in multiple ways. He seems to really produce well when there are runners on. That's no shock for most hitters, but it feels like a lot of times this season Cal has come up empty in a lot of ways. But what I've really noticed is he is an inning-by-inning guy, okay? In the first couple of innings, he has actually been decently productive. The OPS hovering around 740 in the first inning, 830 in the second. Innings 3 through 6, kind of those lead innings, you're going through the second time through the lineup, still facing a starting pitcher. He has really struggled in that department. But the 7th inning, which is oftentimes when you see a reliever, and of course when he's had people on base, he has been mashing guys. He had a 7th inning home run earlier this week. His OPS is over 1 in that category right there, hitting 273. So I think it's safe to say we were used to calling Julio August Julio. Can we call this 7th inning Cal? I think that's what I'm going to start now.
As my friend Paul would say, easy Egan, easy Egan. So I don't want to say it's a Dusty deep dive curse, Paul. Not a Sports Illustrated curse, but Cal was 0 for 4 today with 4 strikeouts.
Way to go, Dusty.
Nobody
Way
set
to
him
go.
up. That's where it happened. Nobody else had a hit, and so maybe you need to set him up, get runners on base. Guys, he's also hitting very well with runners on first and second.
Randy Rosarena and Pareda had hits in this game, but unfortunately the Mariners go down to the Phillies on this day. And Cal Raleigh 0 for 4, but you saw the deep dive. He's getting a little hotter. Just didn't happen today.
Better than what we've seen recently, guys. And I know Paul has got a deep dive coming up in the future on this.
He's deep diving into some barbecue this week. That's what he's deep diving into.
I want to join that, honestly. That sounds amazing. Give me the burn ends, Paul.
Listen, man, I really appreciate the amount of work that you put into your deep dives.
Are you comfy over there?
I'm serious, man. I'm just getting this glazed look over my eye. My whole face.
It's a lullaby for Paul.
Jeez.
Looks like you're going to ask your mom for some meatloaf or something. Hey, Mom! Mom! Give me the meatloaf!